By the end of this video, you're going to know 5 different ways to instantly motivate your teenager. If it feels like they've been nothing but lazy since school let out for summer, this is going to be the best video you've ever watched. First things first, we gotta lay down the law, but in a good way. Think of it like this. Your teenager is lost in the jungle, right? They're surrounded by vines of video games and trees of TikTok, and they have no clue which way to go. What do they need? A compass. That's where setting clear expectations comes in. We're not talking about being a drill sergeant here. It's all about communication and being on the same page. Sit down with your teen and let's say you want them to, I don't know, clean their room. Don't just say clean your room. Be specific. Tell them, hey, I need your room cleaned by Friday. That means bed made, clothes put away, and floor vacuumed. Boom, crystal clear. They know exactly what's expected of them. And there's no room for confusion or excuses like, I didn't know what you meant. Now here's the thing. Setting expectations isn't a one-way street. Ask your teenager for their input. What are their goals for the summer? Do they want to learn a new skill, get a summer job, or maybe finally conquer that impossible level on their favorite video game? By involving them in the process, you're not just dictating, you're collaborating. And that, my friends, is how you build trust and motivation. When they feel like they have a say, they're more likely to buy into the plan. Remember, setting clear expectations is like giving your teenager a roadmap to success. It provides direction, reduces stress, and sets them up for some epic wins. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, you'll even get that clean room without having to channel your inner drill sergeant. All right, let's talk incentives, people. Now, before you go thinking this is about bribing your teenager to do the bare minimum, let me stop you right there. This is about tapping into the power of motivation, and trust me, it works like magic. Think about it. What motivates you? Maybe it's that promotion at work, a delicious meal after a long day, or finally getting your hands on that gadget you've been eyeing for months. We all have our motivators, and guess what? Teenagers are no different. The key here is to figure out what makes your teenager tick. What gets them excited? What are their goals? Once you know what they're working towards, you can tailor the incentives accordingly. Let's say your teenager has been crushing it with their grades. Why not reward them with tickets to a concert of their favorite band? Or maybe they've been consistently helping out around the house. How about surprising them with a new video game or that cool gadget they've been wanting? Now, I know what you're thinking. This is all about spending money. But hold on a second. Incentives don't always have to break the bank. They can be as simple as a movie night with the family, an extra hour of video game time, or even just some good old-fashioned quality time with you. The point is, when you offer incentives, you're not just rewarding good behavior, you're creating positive associations. You're showing your teenager that their efforts are recognized and appreciated. And that, my friends, is a powerful motivator. So, get creative and have some fun with it. Turn those chores into a game, those goals into a challenge, and watch as your teenager transforms from reluctant participant to motivated achiever. All right, let's get real for a second. Remember when you were a teenager and your parents told you to do something you had absolutely zero interest in? Yeah, not exactly a recipe for motivation, right? That's why it's so important to tap into your teenager's passions and interests. Think of it like this. Every teenager has this hidden well of motivation inside them. It's like a superpower waiting to be unleashed. Your job is to find the key that unlocks that power. And guess what? That key is their passion. Maybe your teenager is obsessed with video games. Instead of shutting it down, why not encourage them to learn coding or graphic design? They could create their own games, design characters, or even start a YouTube channel reviewing games. Or maybe they're super into music. Encourage them to join a band, learn an instrument, or even write their own songs. The possibilities are endless. The point is, when you encourage your teenager's interests, you're not just supporting their hobbies, you're fueling their motivation. You're showing them that their passions can lead to amazing opportunities, and that's a powerful message. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what if their passion is just watching Netflix all day? Well, even then, there are ways to turn that into a learning experience. Encourage them to watch documentaries on topics they're interested in, or maybe even start a family movie club where you discuss different films and their themes. Remember, the goal here is to find ways to connect with your teenager on their level. to show them that you support their interests and to help them channel those passions into something positive and productive. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. You! That's right, you, the parent, the guardian, the role model. Listen up, because this is important. You can't expect your teenager to be motivated if you're not walking the walk yourself. Think about it. If you're constantly glued to your phone, binge-watching TV, or complaining about how much you don't want to go to work, what kind of message do you think that sends to your teenager? They're watching you, even when you think they are not. So if you want your teenager to be motivated, you've got to lead by example. Show them what it means to be passionate, driven, and engaged in life. And no, I'm not saying you have to be perfect. We all have our lazy days. But it's about making an effort. Start small. Set some goals for yourself and let your teenager in on them. Maybe you want to run a 5K, learn a new language, or finally clean out that junk drawer you've been avoiding for months. Whatever it is, make it something you're excited about. Then, involve your teenager in the process. Tell them about your progress, your struggles, and your triumphs. Let them see that it's okay to make mistakes, to stumble and get back up again. When your teenager sees you pursuing your passions and facing your challenges head-on, it shows them that anything is possible. It inspires them to do the same in their own lives. Remember, you are your teenager's biggest influencer. Make sure you're influencing them in a positive and motivating way. All right, let's talk about the importance of routine. Now, I know what you're thinking. Routines are boring. But trust me on this one, routines aren't about being boring. They're about creating structure and consistency, which are essential for motivation. Think about it. When you have a routine, you don't have to waste time and energy trying to figure out what to do next. You already know what's on the agenda, so you can just get to it. And that, my friends, is a game changer. Now, I'm not saying you have to schedule out every minute of your teenager's day. That's just asking for rebellion. But having some basic structure can make a world of difference. Start by establishing some non-negotiables. These are the things that need to happen every day, no matter what. This could include things like waking up at a reasonable hour, eating breakfast, and getting some exercise. Once you have the non-negotiables down, you can start adding in some more flexible elements. This could include things like studying, working on hobbies, or spending time with friends and family. The key is to find a balance that works for your teenager and your family. And remember, it's okay to adjust the routine as needed. Life happens, and sometimes you have to roll with the punches. But having that basic structure in place can provide a sense of stability and predictability, which can be incredibly motivating for teenagers. It gives them a framework to work within, and it helps them develop good habits that will serve them well throughout their lives. All right, parents, guardians, and motivators extraordinaire. You've made it to the end of the video, which means you're now armed with 5 powerful tips to unlock your teenager's inner motivation. Remember, it's all about communication, encouragement, and a little bit of creativity. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Motivating teenagers can be like trying to herd cats sometimes, but trust me, it's worth it. When you see your teenager engaged, excited, and pursuing their passions, it's the best feeling in the world. So go out there and be the best motivators you can be. And remember, I'm here for you every step of the way. Now go forth and unleash the motivation.